Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What You Say Anime. I'm your host, Peter. On today's episode is our first impressions of the spring season. What's hot and what's a drop? Joining me today is the lovely and talented Cozette. Cozette, it seems like it was just 2 weeks ago we were reviewing the fall season, but now that spring has sprung, what are your initial thoughts on the season as a whole?
I'm overwhelmed. There's so many. I feel like we say this every season, but this time it actually feels like there's a lot of shows that everyone's hyping up, and like it's hard to watch all of them. I've actually been a bit better this season. I'm not watching as many as I usually do. It's still a lot, but I'm not watching everything that everyone's hyping about. But we're getting a lot of slice of life this season, so that's what I'm really happy about. But we got a good mix. And I don't think I'm watching any show in action this time. So this final season review will be pretty positive, I think. So I'm really happy about it. There's a lot of girls love possible ships this season, which looks nice. So, yeah, but I'm really excited about this spring. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I agree with the overwhelming. Normally in a season, I normally do start with like 20 some shows, but I already in my mind, I have like 5 or 6 shows that are like on the chopping block, or I do actually drop right away. This season, I have like 1 show on the chopping block, maybe 2. Outside that, I'm really enjoying this season. I think it's a season made for someone like me and you, where it has everything that we want. And then if you don't like the shonen action stuff, you can skip it because we got so much other things. But I'm liking the mix. I like getting in my windbreaker while I'm also getting in my mono and my Zatsu Tabi and stuff like that. I think it's just like a well-balanced season. And it's just a little bit of everything for everybody. So I'm loving this. I think the majority of people are probably looking forward to summer more than spring, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is my favorite season of anime this year. It's been a blast, which kind of sucks because due to time constraints, we only do like 10 or 11 shows, like kind of like dive into. With this season, I really want to dive into like 17 shows. Like there's some shows that are going to be cut from this list that I think are awesome. I'm thoroughly enjoying, but something's just got to make a cut, and we'll be talking about those shows in the description below. If you want to jump around to specific shows, use that. But otherwise, let's just jump into our first show that we're talking about. I think that we're both pretty much enjoying the most of it, and that is Rock is a Lady's Modesty. I gotta say, the first thing that I saw coming into this show was the motion capture that Bandmade was doing for this show, and then them doing the OP, which just rocks my socks off. I think it's either my first or second favorite OP of the season. It's been great. And just diving into this, I knew it was going to be like a prestigious girls' academy with some possible Yuri sexual tension going on between the guitarist and the drummer. And we're getting that so far. And the music's been great. The story's been pretty funny so far, and it's still slowly developing. But through the first 2 episodes, I've been really impressed. What are your initial thoughts on Rock is a Lady's Modesty?
It rocks, obviously.
Duh.
I think I tweeted, I wrote like Noble Maiden to Iron Maiden. It has got that kind of vibe.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up. I think the first episode, this was one that I was like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. And then, oh my gosh, what a great first impression. Just like that, their first jam session, I think like the animation was really well done. Because like we've watched a lot of band music animes, and you can tell when the animation doesn't really sync with the instruments, but you can actually see like when the drum hits the cymbal, you can hear the cymbal. Like it actually matched up really well. So I really commend the animation for that. I mean, I've never played a guitar or drum, but it looked very accurate and pretty awesome. It has the right amount of comedy. I think the characters are so fun. They're so over the top, and I think that's what makes it fun. But they're over the top, but they're not annoying. Which, like, there's some characters this season that are at that border of, like, over the top and annoying. But I really like, I think it's Lalisa. I forgot the other girl's name, but they're really fun. And I really like their combo. Like you said, there's a lot of sexual tension in that, like, one jam session.
Yeah.
They are one of my ships for the season. They're just so much fun. And I really like this surgeon of, like, it's a girl band show, but it's like a rock girl band show. Yeah. And I love it. And I think it's going to be so much fun to see where it goes this season.
Yeah, Kurogane, the other girl who's a little bit more, I think she's like seen as like the top at the school. Like everyone just fawns over her. And having that like contrast of when you're like jamming out and you're like, you suck. What was that? I was just like, where did this switch turn on? Like, I love that, like, when you're in the moment, you kind of lose yourself. and she lost herself in that jam session. And I was like, oh, this could get fun, because like we saw it in like the PV and we see it in like the cover art where they're kind of like jamming out like really hard. And then when you see it in the show where it's like they're very prim and proper, it's like, where is this other side gonna come out? And then you see it when they're jamming out. I'm like, yes. Yes. It reminds me of like leaving it all on the court or something like that in like a sports show or something like that, where like when you're on the court, like you give it all. Once it's done, like you don't leave, you leave it on the court, like you don't take it outside the court. Like that's what it felt like. This, it's like they left everything in their music, and sort of Lilia or Lilisa, is that her name, trying to like, you know, having the social pressure of being the good girl or something like that, or whatever that she's supposed to be, when really she obviously just wants to play guitar, but she obviously loves her mom and she wants to like be the person that a respected household name type of thing. So it's been great. It's been one of my top like 5 shows of the season so far, I would say. Really look forward to it. The only bad thing about this show is that it's on High Dive, and if it was on High Dive, it would be so much better. But to me, you know, as a fan who likes Girls Band Cry and Bocchi and Ave Musica, I think this is just another one to add to just like the great girl band shows that we're getting. But like you mentioned a little bit, it's not like, I feel like this is like really focused on the music, which I really enjoy. So it's an absolute must watch for me.
Yeah, I think it's funny how High Dive always has at least one show a season that's like an absolute banger. I think that's why they get to keep people who, you know, subscribe, because their interface is terrible. But I like this show because like it's a bit more harder rock. I think we've had some girl band shows that are a bit more light, a bit more fun, but this is like they're shredding.
Yep.
And I'm really excited to meet the new other characters that are on the PV art, because I think they'll add a lot more fun.
Can't wait
to the show. So, I this is definitely a top favorite for sure. I loved it in the first like 10 minutes. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So I mean that's like 2 must watches for me, or from us, not just me. Check it out if you're a fan of, like I said before, Bocchi, Girls Band Cry, Ave Musica, Bang Dream, My Go specifically. Add this to your repertoire. If you don't have High Dive, shell out $3 a month for 3 months and watch this show. It's fantastic. Moving on to a show that only I'm watching, but I wanted to get this going up front because it is by far my favorite show of the season. And I'm glad I'm getting more and more people involved with it. And that's To Be Hero X. It's done by the director who did Link Click, so I was already like fully on board with it. But I was expecting this to be like My Hero, and it's actually like The Boys, which I am a huge fan of. So the idea of To Be Hero X is the stronger you are as like a hero is based off of the public trust. So the more that the trust of the public has in you, the stronger you are. So of course, corporations are going to try to mold the perfect hero to sort of be presentable and be manufactured heroes, essentially. That way they're the strongest, their way the corporations can sort of control them. And we see that in the first episode. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just like there was 2 moments in the first episode where my jaw was on the floor. I'm like, what? Like they're doing this in the first episode and then they did it twice. Fantastic, just like foreshadowing where this is going to go. It's not as dark as The Boys, I would say. It definitely has a more fun tone, a little bit more fun tone to it, but it is this corporate manipulation of heroes, which I think is a fantastic premise. So far, the main character, his name is Nice, has been great. I've been a huge fan of Nice. He is my Discord profile picture right now. Just a lot, and it's 2 core. There's just like so many different ways where I think this show can go, where they're not afraid to. Have you've seen The Boys, right? Okay, so they're not afraid to like kill off people. They're not afraid to like kind of like go past where you think it's going to go, which I am a huge fan of. And I gotta say, one thing that's like really blowing me away is the animation of the show. I think it is the best animated show of 2025. It mixes something like Arcane, but then it also does like the comic book stuff as well when they're in some fight scenes. And then they go back to like traditional 2D. It's kind of like all over the place, but it's so high quality in each aspect of it. It's fantastic. Cannot recommend To Be Hero enough. I'm watching it dubbed. The dub is great. Absolute fantastic dub. I do want to watch the sub eventually because Mamoru again is. Oh no, is Mamoru in this one? I think Mamoru will be playing like the main villain, but he hasn't been introduced yet. So I probably will switch the sub, but so far the dub has been fantastic. I think it just for an average casual fan, it might be a little different because it is a donghua, it is a Chinese anime. So don't let that get past you because it's fantastic. So, To Be Hero, my absolute number one so far for spring 2024. I'm gonna pass it to Cozette unless you have any words on this. She's gonna talk about her show that she's watching.
Yeah. Well, maybe I will check out To Be a Hero. I've seen some stirs about it on Discord. I just been holding off adding more shows to my watch list. But maybe I'll check it out.
I am the same way where I was like, okay, I set my limit at like 20 shows, and what am I at? I'm at like 24. So it's like, well,
like what day of the week does it come out?
To Be Hero is on. Oh my goodness,
what day? Saturday.
I don't think it is Saturday. It is Sunday.
Okay, that's not so bad because Saturday's loaded this year. Like I'm watching some Saturday shows.
Yep,
yeah,
same.
they're so good. Anyways, I will talk about Once Upon a Witch's Death, which like I didn't have on my radar for until like the last minute. I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch it. It's very like emotional. I think if anyone's seen my tweets, it hits the heartstrings. It's not like a sad show, but if you're someone who's emotional, gets sensitive and cries, that it's a me kind of show. It doesn't hit like Violet Evergarden. I can't figure out why. Because the little story arcs are so short, it doesn't have that like impact. So I'm not like sobbing. It just like hits the heartstrings and you tear up a bit. But basically, it's about a girl who's like a witch, and she finds out she has a disease that she's gonna die in a year. And so, in order to kind of cure that, she kind of has to—I forgot what she has to do, but she has to collect
1,000 happy tears or something like that.
Yeah, 1,000 happy tears, guys, not sad tears. This is why the show. I'm not saying it's a sad show right now. But yeah, so she's a witch. So she's going around meeting these people and then trying to grant, not really wishes per se, but something like that. I don't want to spoil it too much because it's only been 2 episodes, but it's been really sweet. A little bit of a tearjerker here and there. I'm curious if it's going to continue being positive or there's going to be a dark element to it. It's really hard to tell because there's only been 2 episodes. But the main character is so sweet. She might be queer because she's proposed to her best friend like twice already. But they're my other ship of the season. They're so sweet, but I really like the animation. The design's really cute. It's a very simple show. It's not like my must watch of the season right now. I think I need to give it a few more episodes because it has a lot of elements that could make it like Violet Evergarden, but it won't be Violet Evergarden. But I feel like if you watched Violet Evergarden, you might like this one because it's very nice. It's very sweet, impactful, I guess. I'm curious about the other characters that are in the PV art. One of them looks a bit darker and kind of witchier, I guess, and a villain. So I'm really curious where this is going to go. I would like it to get a bit darker because why not? But I'm enjoying it. I know, Pete, you weren't sure about it. I'm not sure about it
so either. I watched 8 minutes of it and I immediately went, yeah, I'm going to cry if I watch this. So I shut it off. Like it was the main Meg, I think her name is. Megan or something like that?
Like something raspberry or something like that. She has a really cute name.
I thought her name was like Megan or something like that.
No, but I think she has like a berry in her name. I think, or is that somebody else's season? I think it's like something raspberry.
I swear her name was like Megan.
No, it's like
what am I thinking of? Who's Megan?
We only had 2 episodes, so I don't have all the characters' name in my head right now. Like I'm checking Mal right now because this is bothering me.
Yeah, her last name is Raspberry. Her first name is Meg.
Raspberry, there you go.
Okay, so we were both right.
But I just remembered the berry part of her name.
And I only remembered the Meg.
Because like when something sticks out in someone's name, I'll remember it. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I am curious where it's going to go. The familiars are really cute. There's an owl and like a little character. The owl is great. Like contender for like best non-human this season. But yeah, I recommend if anyone likes a little bit of magic and touchingness, I guess. But yeah, I've been enjoying it so far.
Yeah, like I guess I only watched 8 minutes of it, but it kind of gave me some. Did you ever watch Elena, the Wandering Witch?
No, but I think I've heard Pat talk about it.
Okay, because it kind of seems like because that's sort of like episodic, where like each episode she's like doing something to, solve a problem or defeat the boss. This is kind of like that, where I feel like it's like a little episodic, where like each episode is her collecting tears from a different story. The first episode, I was like, I'm going to cry a lot if I watch this. So I was like, I already got too many shows. I don't think it's bad at all. I was like, I don't feel like crying right now.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
Where would you put it in like the must watch? Consider it.
It depends on what you're feeling. I do like that the story's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So would I put it in my top 5 right now? I'm just looking at my list right now. I feel like 1, 2.
It's tight at the top.
Top 5. I think it's got something different this season. It got some heart, and I think that's what I love. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right on. Okay, so let's get back to the shows that we're both watching. Next one up is Apocalypse Hotel, my number 2 show of the season. I was blown away by the first episode. I love it. It reminded me a lot of something like Odd Taxi, where I think that there is an underlying serious like story, but while they fill the gaps of that, it's super fun. It's a little bit chaotic. We foreshadowed maybe like a possible murder. And then at the end of the first episode, I guess I'm not going to spoil it, but we got an unexpected guest arriving to the hotel at the end of the first episode. And I guess I probably should put a spoiler warning, but spoiler warning going forward. We might talk about spoilers, but the idea that it's like all of humanity's left. We got The Last of Us, and we're all living in space and living underground now. And now robots are taking care of this hotel. And they're all patiently waiting for their guests, and it's been something like a little over 100 years, and they still haven't gotten a human guest. Wink, wink. Cozette, what are your thoughts so far on Apocalypse Hotel?
I was like, it was on my watch list like right away because I thought the character art was really cute.
So cute.
But I think the cold open was fantastic because it had that like weird, thriving, roaring 20s, Ginza, cool happiness. And all of a sudden there was like these layers of like humanities. There was like something going on, COVID or something. And so that was kind of like the whole like premiere episode where like it was a lot of like fake happiness. Like they're just trying to live their life in Ginza and continue to like clean the hotel and have this routine. It looked very, very happy and positive. But then there was like this underlying like sadness and depression because like they're doing this, but like obviously humans are not here, something is going on, and then we find out about a robot, and then we see someone have a meltdown. So I think that's so interesting. This is a very cool like post-apocalyptic show, and it's really hard to tell where it's going to go. Like if is it going to be dark, is it going to still have this like happy cheery tune? Like it's so hard to tell where this is going to go, and I feel like what will make and break the show is definitely a few episodes, like the 3-episode rule, I guess. So I'm excited where it's going to go, but like I really like the designs. I think they're really fun. The doorman is
that's my boy.
He's hilarious. But I really like the MC, and just all the little like robots are so cute. And it kind of makes me miss Ginza as well. But besides that, I'm really curious as where it's going to go, like what kind of tone it's going to have. I know it has like a sci-fi tag on Mal, but it's hard to tell. Like, is this going to be like dead? Like it reminded me of Dead Demons, where like there's an alien invasion, but everyone's just trying to live their life and be happy. But there's like this looming thing that's happening. So I'm really curious if it's going to be like Dead Demons or something like that. So I don't know. This is definitely a recommend because I think everyone would kind of like this one. It's a fun time.
Agreed. I'm hoping because like I thought the comedy hit really well in the first episode. So I really do hope it stays a little goofy and a little funny and still have that underlying like survival of humanity / like our robot overlords / possibly whatever happened at the end of episode 1 continue. And I think you can do that in a manner where it's both serious and fun, sort of like what Odd Taxi did. And that's where I'm really leaning forward to. And that's what I'm really hoping for out of this. Like you said, doorman robot was great. The main girl robot was awesome. The shower cap scene was hilarious. I loved it. My number 2 show of the season so far. Absolute recommend.
Nothing else to say. I think like looking at my list, I'm like, is this top 5? I mean, it's definitely one that I feel like a majority of people in our Discord would like, and I think most people did watch it. I think that night we were all talking about it, and then everybody, like more and more people started watching it. So yeah, because I think you weren't even planning on watching
I put it off because shout out to Eagle, but he said like I was like, should I watch this at the gym? He's like, nah, you might get emotional. I watched it. I'm like, yo, I laughed my ass off. Like that episode was hilarious. But like I get where he was coming from. So shout out to Eagle for being a considerate human. Yeah, I mean, any other words for Apocalypse before we move on?
No, I'm just excited where it's going to go. And you should join Discord to talk to us all about it. Because
Yo,
I think this is a show
sick
that you have to
plug.
watch weekly. So,
Sick plug,
yeah.
Cozette. I'll links to the Discord in the link tree below. Moving on to our next show, we have Kowloon Generic Romance. I've only seen the first episode. At the time of recording, I think the second episode came out yesterday. So
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday. Okay. Like Saturday has like 14 shows.
I know.
So it's hard to watch everything on time. So there have been 2 episodes out at the time of recording. I'm only through 1. So if I'm missing something, please pick up what I'm putting down. But there's some concerns that we're getting like an anime original only episode. That the first episode covered the entire first volume of the manga. And the pacing did seem a little fast to me, especially when we transition into the paintbrush scene. Or outside of that, like this sort of like Kowloon environment that we have the setting for, with the possibility of it being a little bit sci-fi with the use of the black and white when we see like the alternate version versus the color of like the current day Kowloon, I think is really cool. Reiko is just the hottest person I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it's not fair. People shouldn't be that attractive, especially anime characters. And I am just fascinated with what we got going on, especially with like the dude too, because he kind of like kissed her and be like, "Oh, this isn't you," or something like that. Where it's like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, what does that mean?" Cozette, what's your initial thoughts on Kowloon Generic Romance?
I love that this is kind of refreshing for a romance, because we haven't had a romance like this where it has a bit of a mysterious element to it. There's a bit of sci-fi in it, but like in the last 2 episodes, it just looks like a generic romance, which is basically the name of it. But it gives me Black Mirror vibes. I was trying to figure out like what else it reminds me of, but I can only think Black Mirror right now, where it's like it's got that sci-fi human element, and there's like this weird sci-fi creepy element to it that like we're trying to figure out what it is. And I know that pacing is a concern right now, but I feel like it's been fine. There's probably some elements in the manga that are not being included, and I would like to check out the manga eventually. But I really like Reiko. She is awesome, and I think she has great chemistry with Kudo.
Yep, Kudo.
Yeah, so they've got great chemistry. I think we saw that right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is the kind of fan service I approve. It's great. But yeah, I definitely would like to check out the manga after, just because knowing that it might have a different ending and that the pacing's a bit fast. The recent episode, I can just say there's a new character that creeps me out, but I know Stony has hyped him up. Stony has hyped him up, so I'm kind of curious.
That could be good or bad.
I know, but shout out to Stony.
Stony has a hear me out on a stone statue.
That's true. So anyways, she hyped him up, so I'm really curious who he is, but I'm just like itching to know like what is going on. What is this like mystery, you know? So but yeah, I think the artwork looks awesome. I think the goldfish looks really cool, but yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it for so far.
Yeah, as somebody I did not read the manga. I've only seen the first episode. I'm basing this off the PV, and like the first episode that I've watched. I'm kind of intrigued to see if it's like a parallel universe type of thing, or if it's like a split personality type of thing, or I feel like it can go like, because of the sci-fi tag, I feel like it can go in like 2 or 3 different ways. I'm really intrigued to see like what this other Kowloon means. Like, is it like actually a different Kowloon, or is it just how Reiko like views it, or something along those lines? So that's what I'm like really intrigued with, along with like, I mean, the main dude's chemistry has been awesome. Like I thought like the scene, yeah, I mean, I think like you said, like the kissing scene is sort of like the fan service that I like in my romance. Like that was kind of fun. Like the painting episode, that was like fun fan service. I've seen some people being a little too goony on Twitter. You guys need to pump the brakes a little bit. All the Takamine fans, pump the brakes a little bit. But outside of that, I've been loving it. I haven't seen the newest episode. I put this in like, if you're a romance fan, I think you need to check this out. For everybody else, I would maybe wait just to see if the pacing issues aren't an issue, because that's my biggest concern going forward in future episodes. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like the 3 episode rule, I think, applies to this one. I think like the first 2, we're getting into it, we're learning who these characters are, but I think the third one might be the defining factor, how it's going to go. Just because in the second episode she goes to the doctor and they look into her medical history, and there was something interesting about that scene.
Oh.
I have this weird suspicion that maybe she was either brainwashed or she was cloned or something.
Oh.
Or maybe she's a robot, because it's sci-fi. They're not in like Kowloon. They're like, there's some weird diamond thing in the sky that's like observing them, which look like aliens. And
now
stuff,
we're talking dead demons.
Yeah, so I'll give this 3 episodes, but I feel like I'm still going to continue to the end no matter what happens, because I want to see like how they actually execute this. But
I would love it if you drop this, but like you're looking forward to season 2 of like Any Way I'm Falling in Love with You, and just be like, yo, Cozette, where are your priorities?
Look, I got Reiko right here. So
oh yeah, you have to watch it now.
I have to watch it. And honestly, she might be a contender against Mao for best girl this season.
Whoa. Whoa, you heard it here first, folks. All right.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, that's Kowloon, generic romance. Check it out. Next up, and Shirley. Have you ever seen the meme of they had me in the first half? Everybody was hyping up this show. I watched the first episode. I was like, yeah, that was fine. That was cool. And then I watched the second episode, and I was like, I get it. I get it. I get it. It took me 2 episodes to get it, and I got it. Huge fan of Anne Shirley. Last week, I'm gonna do like this weekly ranking thing. I think it's just kind of fun. I'm gonna do like every Thursday or Friday. I had Anne Shirley at my number 9. It's gonna be much higher than number 9 next week. Huge fan of the second episode. What it's set up, establishing the cast has been great. It's just building the foundation of what's going to go forward, and I absolutely cannot wait. And it's just like a bundle of fun. She reminds me of like an older version of Yotsuba. If you've ever read Yotsuba, right there's my girl Yotsuba. It gives me heavy Yotsuba vibes, where she does a little bit of trolling. But she's also like really adventurous, but like she's considerate at the same time. But she's still like 10, so she's just some like adolescent stuff. I'm like, yo, this all is mixing together into like a great story. I fell in love with Anne Shirley after episode 2. Cozette, you're Canadian. Give me your thoughts on Anne Shirley.
Oh my god, this show's so nostalgic, because I remember watching the TV series when I was younger, but I just don't remember a lot of it. I remember bosom buddies and stuff like that, but like I remembered some of it, but not all of it. So I think it's a great coming of age show, and I'm really surprised that most of the anime community has been liking it, because it's like a childhood story that I grew up with, and like I wasn't sure like how everyone would like react to it, and so far it's been really positive. Like the art style's amazing. I really like the music.
How good that is.
The what?
The art style. This is coming from the studio that did Tower of God season 2, which was straight buns, and this looks great.
They're putting their time in this, okay?
The correct priorities.
But the music's really great. It's the same composer as the Snow White with the red hair, which is ironic because red hair and red hair. So. But yeah, I think Anne is such a fun time. She's such a fun and positive, imaginative spirit. I think like you get to see her personality right away. And she's like kind of type of kid who like you'd be annoyed at, you know, growing up. But she's just so much fun. And I really love that they're just showing the beauty of Prince Edward Island, because honestly, the East Coast is really beautiful in Canada, like half the time of the year, and then the winter it's terrible. But yeah, I just feel like a really proud Canadian, and I'm curious when this gets dubbed to see what they do with it. I might check it out. I don't know. I really like the voice cast right now. But yeah, I'm just really, 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 really happy with it so far. It exceeded my expectations in 2 episodes already. So
yeah. For the dub, I need 2 things. I need Gilbert to be voiced by Justin Bieber, and I need Anne to be voiced by Avril Lavigne. Like, no other instances. That has to be the dub.
You mean 2 Canadians that moved to America? No.
What, are there any Canadians that stayed? All right. Gilbert is now being played by Drake. Congratulations, Cozette. This is what you want. This is what you asked for.
No. Honestly, I would get Catherine O'Hara as like Muriel or something. Yeah. Catherine O'Hara is like Beetlejuice and Schitt's Creek. So she's my favorite.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. Okay. So we'll have Catherine O'Hara and Drake for the dub of Anne Shirley. This I'm trying to think of like show, like if you're a fan of like Non Biori, I feel like is a good show similar to this, where it's like countryside. I know that's like Japan and this is Canada, but like countryside. I'm guessing, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more about like the friendship sides and like doing stuff with like your friends and just like growing up and living life together. Is that kind of what it is?
It's like a coming of age show, so we're gonna see her age very quickly. Like she's not gonna be a kid. She's not gonna be a kid for very long. Yeah, because in the PV art, in her PV art, she looks like she's probably in her older teens. So I think this is too core. So I think we're definitely gonna see her as like an adult. I don't know if we're gonna get to the elder part, but so far I've looking at the PV art, she's definitely a teenager at that point. So
damn.
Yeah.
So does Anne of Green Gables go like her entire life?
Yeah, like she gets married. Wow. Yeah, which I didn't get that far as a kid because I'm like, oh, you're getting married. That's so. I don't know if we'll get that far, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of a show then that like showcases the entire life of somebody.
Yeah, I can't think of that. It's like a slice of life coming of age show, and like part of it kind of reminds me of like Ghibli. A lot of the Ghibli shows are about girls who are just growing up, and obviously we don't see their full span of growing up, but you see parts like just like that imaginative, young spirited Totoro kind of vibe. But I can't think of
I was gonna say Fruits Basket, but that has so many drama elements. But it's like at least there you see like Toru sort of like grow up a little bit and get married and stuff like that. But I feel like the vibes are a little different.
Yeah, I can't think of a show because this is definitely like realistic.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't think of an anime right now, which is kind of nice that we have something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going in my top 5 after week 2. Huge fan of Anne Shirley. Yeah, I'd probably put this like just below Apocalypse Hotel just because I had so much fun watching that show. But episode 2 of Anne Shirley was that was the stamp I needed to be like, yep, I get it. So huge thumbs up for me for Anne Shirley, and I'm assuming you're the same.
Of course.
Okay. Two thumbs up for Anne Shirley. Moving on to our next show. I got words. This is the Dinner Table Detective. This was my most anticipated show coming into this season. It has my goat Mamoru. It has Yuki Kaji. It has Kana Hanazawa. The voice acting cast of this show is insane. It's done by Madhouse. I'm expecting the animation and direction to be insane. And all of those have been fantastic. My problem so far through 2 episodes is, and this could change, this is 100% could change with more context and more episodes. The mystery aspect of the show sucks ass. I don't know if you've watched the 2nd episode yet, but the conclusion to the first mystery I thought was really dumb. Like really dumb. It was solved by the butler in like 12 seconds. I'm like, where's the lead up? I think this might be Apothecary Diaries poisoning us with how we can foreshadow mysteries like 24 episodes prior based off visual clues that we've been given, where if we really wanted to, we could play detective. I like playing detective, especially in mysteries. In Dinner Table Detective, at least in the first one, we had no opportunity to solve the mystery ourselves. The rock element of like the gem was something that unless you were like a jeweler or a geologist, you would have no idea how you could solve this mystery and figure it out. I'm like, that's kind of lame. Like, it's just like, we're kind of just watching somebody play detective instead of incorporating us into the mystery, which is what I am wanting. So outside of that, everything else has been great. I thought Mamoru was incredible episode 2 when he's calling out to Raiko. He's like, Raiko, and you can like hear him from like off in the distance trying to chase. He's like, okay, I gotta get in the car. Really fun, like character interactions, his voice acting, and the direction Madhouse is killing it. But man, they gotta fix the mystery part of it, or this is gonna go pretty low. Cozette, your thoughts on Dinner Table Detective?
I think you're taking the mystery part too seriously.
I like having fun with mysteries. Like,
it's still fun. I think like it's like Amaku last season. Like, were we going to be able to tell like most of those medical mysteries?
Because I feel like that's a little like, I know exactly what you're saying, but I think it's like a little different because it's like so preposterous where like you had no idea. Because like I guess like if we're comparing it to like House or Amaku, we're watching a show where like even the doctors don't know what it is and they're solving the mystery too. The first episode, Dinner Table Detective was like, I know the answer. Do you know the answer? and then they find out the answer in like 4 minutes. It's like, man, there was like no build up. There was like no tension. I thought like the idea of like why they did it in the first place was kind of bad. Try being vague on purpose, guys. So I don't know. I think going forward it could be fine. Maybe this is just like a setup to like how the stories are going to progress, and if that's the case, it's fine. But if we're doing a first impression, wasn't a fan.
Okay. I think the thing I wasn't a fan of is Miyano's character. But I think it's because his character is cringy and annoying, which is the point. But it starts to get really annoying. But I think like that's who he is and that's his character. So I really like that Kageyama, the butler, is a nice opposite, and he's a lot of fun. And I really, really like his character. I'm just gonna take this show as like being silly and funny, and I'm not gonna take the mystery element that far. I did have to watch the episode like twice to really understand why the motives of the person that did the thing, and it made sense to me right after. So I kind of get why it happened. But yeah, I really like this double life that Reiko is leading, being an heiress.
That's
and
really
just
fun.
That's really fun. So I think I'm gonna approach the show as like I'm not gonna take it serious as like a mystery. Like I'm not gonna look at it like it's Sherlock Holmes or anything. I'm just gonna look at it as like a fun comedy. And the butler's awesome, and I like him. And Reiko's, is it Reiko?
Yeah.
Her name.
Yep, Reiko.
Okay, cool. I was thinking Kowloon, and I thought I wrote her name twice. Yeah, she's a lot of fun, but I like the butler. The butler is probably the best part. So as long as we get to see him more, I'm gonna continue watching. So
I'm gonna continue watching no matter what. It's just, man, I think it's like when. I think this is like more of like me not liking this, but me liking apothecaries more than I already do. Where it's like, the writing in Apothecary is actually genius this whole time. It's like little things where like it's one of those things where like you compare it to other shows and it's just like, okay, maybe this show has better animation. It's just like what Apothecary does is just like it's better than everything in every, like it does everything better than every other show. So it's like I'm realizing that where it's like, damn, you know what I'd really rather be watching than Dinner Table Detective? A new episode of Apothecary Diaries, because this show kicks ass. So it's not that the show is bad. I just think it's Apothecary is just climbing the ranks.
It's tough to compare to. So I think this is going to be like one of those shows that you have as a 7 on your watch list that like, it's a 7, it's fine. Is it a must watch? No, but it's a nice 7. Like you're like, I'll probably be behind it a few weeks and then I'll catch up and I'll have fun. So, but yeah, I'm not going to take it too seriously. I think it's going to be like a 7. So yeah, it's fine.
Did you ever watch the 80s movie Clue based off the board game?
Did I?
I don't know.
I love that movie.
Yeah. See, that's what I was kind of hoping that this would be. I was hoping this would be Clue.
No, nothing can be like Clue.
Oh, Clue is so good.
Come on. Nothing can be like Clue.
So I guess going on a tangent a little bit, Daredevil Detective for me, it's not on the chopping block, but it's definitely lower on my priority watch list. I think right now it's okay. And maybe later episodes can change that with like a really fun mystery. Give me Knives Out or something if you can't give me Clue, something along those lines where I can play along. I want to play detective a little bit, just a little bit. I don't need a lot. Give me a little bit to play with. And we got a little bit with that in episode 2 where we have like a larger cast of possible people who could have done something. And so now maybe I can put the pieces together. But even if I'm wrong, I want to play along. So I'm putting this in like it's I.
Yeah, it's fine. It's definitely going to be the show that I like when I'm overwhelmed and I can't watch everything on the weekend. It'll be like one of the last shows I catch up on. But I will say the dub sucks. So
that's what I heard.
Amazon loaded it automatically for me, so I had it on, and I was like, "Oh, this is not good." So yeah,
this is ass.
Definitely stick to sub. So yeah.
All right, that is Dinner Table Detective. Moving on to the most Pete show that has ever been created. If you are like me and you have taste and you're I don't know, you're me, you gotta watch Zatsu Tabi. That's Journey. I think it's brilliant, especially how they're incorporating the manga now going forward on Twitter. It's essentially a manga artist going around Japan finding inspiration for her next manga, but I think she's just kind of turning into a travel junkie instead. because I think a lot of times on her trips, she's more focused on not finding inspiration and just having a good time, which I am a huge fan of. If you like traveling, especially if you want to travel to Japan someday, or already have and you're looking for new things to add to your list next time you go, this show is it. The first episode, I was like, yeah, I gotta go check this out. The second episode, they gave me an idea of somewhere I was already planning on going my next time. It was fun to see in like anime form because I really haven't seen it in anime form. And it's just been great. I love the idea of just traveling around Japan and having fun. It's like laid back camp minus the camping and just the traveling aspect and chilling at onsens and getting oysters and stuff like that. Like to me, that's my love language. Like whatever this is going on, this speak to me in whatever this is, and you got me. Cozette, your thoughts on Zatsu Tabi?
This is a me show. I don't know what you're talking
Whoa,
about.
this is a me show. I called dibs.
I called dibs. No, I as soon as this, like the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is exactly what I needed. Cause I don't think we got a slice of life like this since Laid Back Camp, to be honest, which is going to be a nice segue to the next show. But it's exactly what I needed. It's the slice of life that's perfect for me. It's got traveling, but it also has food, and it talks about like, I assume we're gonna look at food from like regional parts of Japan, which is really cool.
Yeah, super fun. Did you watch the second episode?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's right. You're watching it after this.
Yeah,
you'll see some more regional food, which is sweet.
Nice. That's exactly what I do when I go to Japan. I look into like the regional food of the places I'm visiting. So I'm really excited about that. The artwork is stunning, and it reminds me of Laid Back Camp so much because the background art is just beautiful. I don't even know what studio did this. Like, it's so good.
It is Studio Mockeria. They did nothing of note.
Oh, there's a lot of new studios this season.
This is their third anime.
Okay, there's another show that's like, this is their first show. So anyways, I've been really liking it. I think this is going to be one of my comfort shows next to Laid Back Camp. Chica's a lot of fun. She reminds me of me, except she's a lot more, she likes to wing it, where I don't. I like to plan my trips.
I'm a big winger.
I don't wing, I plan. So I'm literally planning my Japan trip 6 months out. So
I plan where I'm sleeping, and that's it. Everything else is up in the air.
My itinerary for Japan is pretty locked in. So, but yeah, honestly, it's like the perfect time for this show to happen because I'm planning my Japan trip in 6 months. So yeah, I'm just so like, this is my number one. It's my number one. Let's just say it now. It's my number one this season. I love it so much. And I watched the first episode twice already. So I can't wait to watch the episode right after this.
Yeah, it's awesome to the point where it's like, even like stuff like writing the Shinkansen was so detailed with like the next stop at whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll say it in Japanese, then they'll say it in English or something like that. I'm like, take me back. Take me back. A year ago today, I was landing in Japan. Like, I miss it. I want to go back, but so I'm gonna live vicariously through this show for this season, and then when Cozette goes to Japan, I'll be living vicariously through her. But if you're a slice of life fan, if you like Laid Back Camp, you need to drop everything except your baby and go watch this show. Like, it's great. Absolute must watch for me.
But yeah, it's a definite watch. And like, anyone who marked no slice of life winners in the last year anime awards, watch this one so you can at least vote for it next year.
Yeah, please. If it gets nominated, oh god,
it will get nominated.
I don't know.
Our awards will get nominated.
Our awards, unless Laid Back Camp season 4 comes out this season, I think this is the front runner. More than likely. Yeah, absolute banger for all my travel fans, all my slice of life fans. Go watch it. Go watch it. Okay. Speaking of Laid Back Camp, we have Laid Back Camp's author's other work, Mono, or I don't know how they're pronouncing it, which is the photography club instead of like the camping club. But they're still like I feel like they're still doing something very similar to Laid Back Camp of like doing very simple things with like the emphasis around photography instead of camping. And I'm all for it. I read a little bit of the manga, and it's like the manga's not that good. I'll just put it that way. And how they have elevated it in the anime after one episode was superb. Like it already gives me like a mixture of laid back camps like style with a little bit of Bocchi the Rock's like comedy and character visual storytelling with like the Moe blob face. Big fan of the Moe blob face. And sort of like their reactions to situations. It was very Bocchi-esque, which I am a huge fan of. Don't really know a whole lot about photography, so if we learn some stuff and they have fun with it, I'm all for it. They sort of had that thing with like the 360 picture in episode 1. That was fun. Cool to check out. I think the cast, while we got introduced to, I think we got introduced about half of the main cast. So we still got 2 or 3 more girls that get introduced. I like we got another like manga artist kind of failure. I don't know what she is. Some look back-esque dress up. And then we had the 2 like high school girls that are in photography. So far it's been off to a good start. There's no Nadeshiko yet. Waiting for my Nadeshiko. I don't know if we'll ever get a Nadeshiko-esque. But so far so good. What are your initial thoughts on Mono?
It's not laid back camp. It doesn't have the same vibes yet, but it's only been 1 episode, so I can't judge it that hard. And also it's a different studio than Laid Back Camp. I think this is the one that I think is the brand new studio. I think this is the one.
Soijin. Yep, this is their first anime.
Yeah, so this is the new one. So obviously it's not the same studio, so we're not getting the same music and stuff. But what I will say is that the artwork is really nice. Like the background, I've been saying that a lot for a lot of shows, but the background art's really nice.
Background art's dope.
Yeah, and I think like it has a lot of great angles and perspectives, which is very tied into photography. So I
100%.
think that makes sense. I think some of the stuff we learned about photography already is correct. They talked about like what happens when you shoot at night and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it because I think we'll learn about some stuff about photography, but then also like I'm hoping that they're going to go outside in Japan and like take cool shots of different stuff. Like maybe it's another travel kind of show as well.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Some food photography would be kind of sweet too. The cat cam was so funny because I follow a TikTok.
Great.
I follow a TikTok of a cat that like literally fights cats on the street, and it's so funny. And I don't know if they got that inspiration from it because it's the funniest videos I watch all the time. But yeah, I think the characters are really fun. I love that there's another failure adult character. I think she's so much fun. But yeah, I think it's cute. It's not the level of Zatsu Tabi. I think Zatsu Tabi is like a different. It's at the like a top tier, so it's not going to be like that. But I don't know. It's only been 1 episode so far, so who knows? I might change my mind in like 2 more episodes. So I really like it. I feel like people who like Late by Camp will probably enjoy this. I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because I was a little I'll have this take when we talk about Lazarus maybe a little bit later, but Mono needing to not be laid back camp in a different way, where it's very similar in terms of like art style. Obviously, it's the same author. They're really good at like portraying these type of situations, these casual, little silly interactions with whatever the main topic is. And this one's photography. Okay, so how do we make that a little bit different than say what we did with Laid Back Camp? And I think that they're doing it with like I think the cast is different enough where instead of I would say in Laid Back Camp, Rin and Nadeshiko are both the main characters. In this one, it does just seem like it's the main girl, Satsuki. And I feel like everybody else will be playing the support character. So having a little bit more energetic main character that's maybe a mix between Rin and Nadeshiko is great. Having an adult character is awesome. She kind of reminds me a little bit of like the drunk teacher from Laid Back Camp, but we only have 1 episode, so it's hard to tell. But I don't think there's gonna be as good as Laid Back Camp, but I think there's setting up to be like a very enjoyable. Probably, I would say this is probably gonna be more funny than Laid Back Camp, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with like the photography aspect. Like, do they knock it out of the park with like the background art? So far with like the soundtrack, there was a huge thing what I loved about Laid Back Camp was like the mixture of like the soft music and the background. We kind of got a little bit of that in the first episode. So continue doing that. I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy it. Wait to see more, but it was a very enjoyable first episode. I would say if you're a slice of life fan, I would watch Zatsu Tabi first, and then I would watch this second.
It's funny because my anime list doesn't have it listed as a slice of life for some reason. I found that odd.
They do that. They do that. I don't know. There's people have like a weird definition of what like slice of life is. This is clearly a slice of life. Like
Yeah.
It's showcasing their daily life of doing photography stuff. I don't know what else you would put that unless this was like Nightcrawler, the movie, and it's like a drama murder or something like that, where I don't think it's going to go that route.
I would love that. I love Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler is a fantastic film. Absolute banger.
So good. It's so good. This is definitely not going to be Nightcrawler, but I would love it if it does.
Oh, that's crazy. The English dub of Satsuki is actually Jake Gyllenhaal. That's crazy. Wow.
I would love that. I would love that.
That'd be nuts. So for me, must watch for slice of life fans. If you're not a slice of life fan, skip this. Like I don't think it's something like Zatsu Tabi where you can find a little bit more fun with it, like going on an adventure and doing stuff. If you don't like cute girls doing photography stuff, you already know this ain't for you. But for someone like me and Cozette, absolute banger.
Yeah, and it might be another Yuri. Who knows? Because we got a little bit that in the intro. So
maybe. Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I forgot about that aspect. We'll see if they keep playing it. I feel like that could be something that they might fall off of, but who knows?
Yeah, maybe a little baby.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Let's move on to our next show. Sort of a little slice of lifey, more I would say comedy, is Catch Me at the Ballpark. I love this show because when I went to Japan and went to Tokyo Giants game, I was so impressed by the Ballpark beer girls. They are hauling around 40 pounds of beer. They're running up those stairs to get you your beer. It was a physical, like, I don't know, their endurance, their stamina for 9-inning baseball games to do that. It was just incredible. So I was drawn to it because I had so much fun at the game. So I was like, okay, let's see like a show that's showcasing that. And I heard from before that like a lot of idols get their start by doing this, where they build like a clientele base through the people that they sell beer to. And we kind of saw that with like some networking in the second episode, which I thought was really cool. There's a lot of creepy dudes out there asking for people's Instagrams. And it's like, okay, well, if they're going to do that, then you need to follow me. And then when you have to support me, blah, blah. I was like, okay, this is fun. This is like, okay, if you're going to ask me for my Instagram, then you better be a follower of mine. I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes. I don't really get idol culture in Japan, but fuck it. We're watching it. It's been pretty fun so far. Really like the second episode more than the first, even though the first episode was really fun. Just the large cast of what you can do with this show has been really fun. I can't wait to see it get expanded more because I'm assuming we are. We kind of got introduced like 4 or 5 beer girls. So maybe we'll get a little side things with them. And I just got to say, the ED is so much fun. Probably like my second or third favorite ED of the season. Just so far, a really good time with Catch Me at the Ballpark. Cozette, your thoughts on Catch Me at the Ballpark?
It makes me want to go to a ball game.
Go when you're in Japan. It's unlike anything. It is not an MLB baseball game. It is a European soccer match. They just happen to be playing baseball.
Games are fun.
It is a blast. How much fun I had at the baseball game. And the Tokyo Giants lost, and I thought it was probably like a top 10 thing I did in Japan. It was so much fun.
It does look fun. And I think the show, I like that it's not like a sports show. It's like a stadium slice of life of like showing people who like either work at the stadium or like tied to like the baseball players and stuff like that. So I did like the fact, because one thing I was worried about is that the show was going to be all about Ruriko. Like she's great, but I think I would have been a bit bored if we just saw her keep up selling beer all the time. So I do like that we get to see some stories about some other people in the show. I really love the storyline with the security guard. I think that was one of my favorite storylines. And then the WAG, wife and girlfriend is the name of it. But yeah, I really like that storyline. I like that they sell 700 yen beer because that's not how much it costs here.
Nope.
It's like $16, I think. Yep. So that's pretty sweet.
I was just saying, when I was there, they were 700 yen. It was great. And you didn't even have to get off your seat. They'll bring it right to you. It's awesome.
No, we don't get that. So I think it's a lot of fun. I like that the last episode showed some food, which is really cool. Because I love the food. So this is going to be a fun one. I think the comedy is just about right for me because comedy is very hit or miss with me. And I think this is enough for me to like it. But yeah, I'm really curious how it's going to go for like 12 episodes though. So we'll see. But I've been really enjoying it so far.
I think that's when like the larger cast comes in because I like the idea of like Ruriko being in like half of an episode and then the other half is, you know, we've gotten the wife of the ball player, we got the concession worker, we got the security guard. So it's like they are showcasing other people, but it's fun just because like it's all in the same environment. Like they might be sitting next to each other, but it's two different stories happening. I like that idea a lot with it. And you don't even have to like baseball to watch this show. It just happens to take place in a baseball stadium. I'm pretty sure most people have been to a baseball game before. So if you're like not a fan of sports and you're like, I'm avoiding this because it's a sports anime, it's not. It just happens to take place at a baseball stadium. It is a comedy slice of life, maybe a little bit of like a romantic subtext. We'll see. I do like the idea of like in episode 2, the Kotaro, like the main dude, sort of like was viewed. I don't know. I just like how like he is viewed by the cast because everybody has like a wide range of opinions on him because he's like the depressed salary man. So he kind of looks a little sad, but like once you start talking to him, it's like a different person. One of the persons like saw him as like a prince because of something he said. It's just like, this is silly, but it's really fun to just like showcase this whole cast and like those characters together. So I'm loving it. I think it's on Mondays where it's like I have like 1 or 2 shows. So it's really easy to, I think it's Monday. I could be wrong. April's.
No, I think it's like late, like
Wednesdays. It's a Wednesday show.
I'm like, gonna watch it today. I'm not watching it today. Yeah.
So I think it's one of these shows where it's like I have 1 or 2 shows on Wednesday. So it's really easy to consume. It's fun. If you want no stress comedy, I would say definitely check out Catch Me at the Ballpark. How about you, Cozette?
Yeah, it's drama-free. I'm excited to see like how all the characters kind of connect in like different storylines. I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a nice like kick back and relax kind of show, which is what my vibe is this season. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it.
Agreed. Yeah. Okay. Our last show that non-sequel show that we're going to be talking about together is a ninja and an assassin under one roof. This was a show that was not on my radar at all. I watched the first episode. I was like, oh, this is going like I don't know. I was expecting it to be not as bloody as I thought it was going to be. And I like it for that part, but I was really coming into this thinking it was going to be a very stereotypical, I guess, mesh of, in this case, a ninja and assassin. I was maybe expecting a little bit of like Spy Family where it's like silly and goofy, but it's like, some people got murked in the first episode, which caught me really off guard. The 2 characters are super fun. Like, I love like the ninja is like a quote failure, but she's not really. Like, she avoided all of the ninja's attacks. Her like disposal ability is like insanely effective. I love how they incorporated that to the assassin and like why it would be necessary. But then she's like super good at household chores and stuff like that. I don't know. And then the assassin character being stoic and serious and deadly. Really fun twist on this type of show where I thought it was going to be played for gags, played for laughs. And it's like, not really. I mean, it is, but like at the same time, it's not. It's a very interesting vibe. I'll put it that way. Cozette, your initial thoughts on a ninja and an assassin under one roof?
I definitely wasn't sure about the show because I saw the slice of life tag. So I was like, okay, that's definite. I'm going to watch it. But then I also have the shonen tag on it. So I was like, oh, this is going to be an interesting challenge for me. But oh my God, the first episode like knocked it out of the park. I think it's just so much fun. It has like action, it has slice of life, it has comedy. The animation's really good. Really just like good. That cold open was like even just the art style in general, but like the cold open with like her running from the ninjas, like that was a totally different art style. It looked so cool. And then like the animation of like her ninjutsu with the leaves like popping up, that was awesome. Like I think the animation was really cool. I don't even know who animated this.
This is Shaft, so
okay,
pretty good studio.
I don't know what they've done.
Shaft, they're the Monogatari studio essentially.
Okay, I have to watch that.
Madoka Magica. Yeah, I mean, they're really they do the neck tilts.
Okay.
If you see a character doing a neck tilt, it's probably Studio Shaft.
Okay, cool. But I really like the story. I find it funny that she's a high schooler, but because I can see there's a little bit of fan service in the show. But yeah, but they've got like the perfect black cat golden retriever partnership. They're so much fun. Like I enjoyed it right away when I started watching it. I really like their energy. I think the story is really fun. Where like she's like the cleaner, and then we have the assassin. I think it's that kind of show. I'll probably like it more than Sakamoto Days, but who knows? There's still like a couple
That's
episodes.
not that hard to do.
Ooh, but yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun, and then just seeing all these different like assassins or ninjas trying to go after them has been really cool. So yeah, I've been really surprised by it, and I'm really liking it. I think it's definitely at the top few that I recommend for the season.
Wow.
I think it's just with the art style, with the animation, with the story. I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah,
I like the first episode. I need to see this cook a little bit because I hope it doesn't get like samey with how the episodes progress. But I think that they can do a lot of, based off what we saw in the first episode, that they're not afraid to sort of go away from what you are thinking it's going to do, which I'm a huge fan of, which was why I love To Be Hero. Go watch To Be Hero. Yeah, I think this is like a vibe check for me right now because like I liked what they did through the first episode, but I'm not as high as everybody else on it because I think like Preston, this is like his number 2 show or something. Like good job, Preston. He like loves like ninjas. I don't know. Yeah, he's got a thing for ninjas, so I like it. I'm gonna put it as I like it. I'm gonna let it cook before I give it my stamp of approval. I don't think it's like, in no way is it bad. Like you said, it's Studio Shaft. It looks great. The comedy hit. I just gotta see if it passes the vibe check after 3 episodes.
I get it, and I can see how like they might just repeat. It might be just a very formulaic where it's like attempted to get assassinated, fight, ninjutsu, slice of life, and then next episode. Like I can see it being formulaic, so we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. It could be a 7, it could be a 10. Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep. That's really how I feel. So I'm gonna definitely give it the 3 episode check. Probably won't drop it, but really, the only way I can describe it is it was just like an interesting first episode. I think my biggest issue is coming into it, I thought it was going to be played for gags. I thought it was going to be played for laughs, and it wasn't. And my body doesn't know how to respond to that. So I'm going to give it another week to see how it responds, and we'll move forward from there. But that is all the non-sequel shows that we are going to talk about together. We are watching some sequels. I want to give some time to check in on that. Have you started watching Shoushimin yet?
I have, sort of.
Okay. What are your thoughts? So spoilers, by the way, for sequels.
I think I'll just be very, like, I think I felt like this the first season. I don't know if I mentioned this in the review, but I feel like this is the kind of show that I need to binge.
Yep.
A little slightly, because when I watched the second episode, I already forgot what happened in the first. Sure. And that's literally just my brain being idiotic and not remembering. Because this is one of those shows where you need to remember details and connect them and see how they connect. And I feel like that was like Amaku last season, where I felt like I needed to watch like 3 episodes at a time.
Yep.
So I'm still watching it. I think I'm excited for Osanai and everything, but I think it's one of those shows where I'm gonna have to like wait a couple episodes and then dive into it. Or maybe I'll wait for it all to be finished and binge it. I don't know what I'm gonna do this season. So maybe I'll like replace that spot with To Be Hero for the time. Who knows?
You love to see it. That's a legally binding contract. You have to watch To Be Hero now.
Well, we also got to talk about other shows we're watching, so you might convince me to watch something else. But it's one of those shows where I think I'm going to have to pace it out a bit just because of me personally. I won't, because last season I had a hard time remembering everything. So I think I might just wait it out until like we're about to do the review and just binge it. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay. I just based off of the first season, because it kind of feels a little bit like the first season where we're building to something. And that's what Shoushimin was. I feel like we were building to something that took 7 episodes. And then once we got to the 8th episode, it's like, oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for the whole time. I have a feeling that we're going to do something very similar this season. I think it's setting some stuff up with the arson and the newspaper stuff. I think it's going to build into something great. I hope Yuki is a serial killer. I can't wait to see what she does. I need her to be a goblin, not a gremlin anymore. She's getting upgraded to goblin. She's hobgoblin status now. I need her to take down the man or whatever she's trying to accomplish. I cannot wait for more. But yeah, I mean, just so far it's been fine. It's been it's what I expected from Shoushimin, so I'm chilling. Also, I believe we are both watching Killing Slimes. Are we both? Have you started season 2?
I started, and then I'm like, don't remember any of this.
Yeah, it's been like 4 years.
They showed new characters that I don't remember, and then I'm like, I started rethinking, like, did I even finish the show?
Did you?
I don't remember if I did. I marked it as complete, so I decided to just not watch it.
Okay. I gave season 1 a 7. I thought it was fine. So far through 2 episodes of season 2, it's like it's fine. I'll watch it if it is definitely the last show on my to watch list. It's exactly what you're thinking it's going to be every single episode, and that's okay. But it's also going to be coming once I'm done with all my other shows. It's fine. This is the best way to put it. It's okay.
Convincing me to go try to watch the first season again.
You really don't. I don't think you need to go rush out. I just think it's been perfectly normal, which is you got to mix in your 6s with your 10s. This is a fun 6. So
yeah,
I'm chilling.
I got you.
Are you watching any other sequels?
Funny enough, and for some reason, I'm watching Bye Bye Earth, and I don't think I was here that review episode when we first talked about that show. I don't remember if I was. But for some reason, I decided to continue this show that I still don't understand what happened in the first season. But I'm watching it because I think the visuals are really cool. Kevin Bacon has done a great OST. I really like the lead character. I hate Adonis. I think his name is Adonis. Yeah, I hate him. But yeah, I'm still watching it. I think the world's really cool. It's just hard to understand what's going on. I'm just watching it for the visuals and stuff. I don't really know what's going on, but I don't know. There's a few people in the Discord that are watching it too, and I don't know if they understand what's going on, but I don't know. I'm still enjoying it, surprisingly. So that's the only one I'm watching. Yeah.
Okay. The 2 other ones that I'm watching, Windbreaker Season 2, incredible. So much fun. The choreography, Cloverworks is stepping up their game. Once again, they're an elite studio. Sound design and soundtrack to season 2 has been a massive step up. The show has been fantastic. If you've ever seen the movie The Warriors, it reminds me of The Warriors a lot. I can't wait. Every Thursday it airs. And it's my go-to treadmill show on Thursday. Huge fan. And then Aharen, season 2. We just got the new episode 2 today, which was a Stardew Valley episode. Are you kidding me? This show is incredible. I love Aharen. Absolute banger this season. We got introduced to a former childhood friend of Aharen who is now a Gairu. That dynamic is fantastic. I love like the shy girl, super overly extroverted Gairu character, and they just are best friends immediately. Huge fan. Aharen, absolute slapper. So those are the other 2. I think those are the only 2 sequels that I'm watching. I'm not watching Fire Force.
You're not.
No, I dropped season 1.
I'm joking.
Okay, yeah. Not a fan of Fire Force. So moving on to, and then we'll be closing this out, of other shows that we are watching that we didn't get to. Cozette, you're up first.
Sure. So this will be quick. I'm watching Uchuujin MuuMuu, which is Cat MuuMuu, I guess. Unfortunately, no streaming platforms have picked it up. So you have to be a bit of a pirate for this one.
Or maybe.
It's not like a must-watch for me right now. I think it's a must-watch for the cat lovers in the world, because I think it's very, very cat-like. All the cat mannerisms, you'll recognize it right away. I'm not a cat person, but I still love it. It's basically about an alien cat that crash lands into this like university student's home. And as curious cats do, it decides to take apart human technology like a fridge and a microwave to learn how they work.
Okay.
And the show's kind of educative because it teaches us like, how does a fridge work? How does a fridge stay cold? I didn't know how they work. So it's kind of educative. It's kind of, and it's a bit funny as well. I think the art style is really, really cute. I'm surprised it wasn't picked up by anyone because I think someone would like it. Is it as good as Red Cat Ramen? No, but I don't know. It's a fun time. It's not a must watch. I think it's a must watch for the cat people for sure.
Okay.
And the other one I'm watching, which I think you're watching too. Witch Watch.
Big fan.
Okay.
Really?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Have you watched the second episode?
No, I haven't. That's probably
Okay.
why. I do like the premise of like a witch and her guard ogre. I think
Yes, he's an ogre.
that's fun. It has that like gag comedy thing that I'm like, I'm not sure yet if I vibe with this yet. So we'll see. I didn't watch the second episode yet because I think it aired yesterday and I just didn't have time to do that. But I will shout out the OP. I think the OP is fantastic.
So
It's the
good.
visuals.
So
The
good.
visuals are so good. I think it stuck out to me. A lot of the songs this season hasn't stuck to me yet. I think I need a couple weeks to do that. But I think the art style is so cool in the OP.
Do you have one off the top of your head that's been like a standout for either an OP or an ED?
Well, ED is
Outside of Witch
definitely
Watch?
Catch Me at the Ballpark, the ED for that one.
Yeah.
I really like. Do I like Apothecary Diaries? I don't remember. I didn't like Apothecary Diaries that much. Shoushimin's ED is really good.
Oh, it's insane how good that is. That's
It's
my
so
favorite
good.
ED.
Rock is really good.
Yep.
I don't remember if we saw Apocalypse Hotel. That's the one I don't remember.
I think they played the snippet at like the end of the episode, but they didn't play the whole thing. They played
just
like
feel like
the song, not the actual like visuals.
Okay, because I feel like it would have a good one. So yeah, ask me that during the review. But yeah, Witch Watch, we'll see. The first episode, I was like, okay, I can see why people like it. It does give me Psyche K vibes, where like
100%.
I like liked the comedy, but I wasn't like loving it. So we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
I need a few episodes, yeah.
Right on.
And that's it.
Okay.
That's all I'm watching.
Sick. Yeah, I'm loving Witch Watch, especially after the second episode. Psyche K is in my top 100. I love it. And the second episode was very, very Psyche K level. So huge fan of that. Other shows that I'm watching, that Country Bumpkin show. If I were to drop a show, it would be this one. I think on paper it has some things that I really enjoy, but I hate the fact that like all of his pupils are like 20-year-old girls. And one of them was like, the whole premise of like the first episode was like he had to go back to like the capital and like train the army, blah 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 blah. And then his parents are like, "Oh, while you're there, you can meet a nice girl and settle down, blah blah blah." And like while they're having this conversation, it's like one of his pupils, and his pupils is like, "Well, I mean, that girl could be me, right?" Like, I was like, "Nah, don't do this. Like, this dude's like 55 and you're 20." There's like a cool like action scene and stuff like that, but I thought the first episode was pretty whatever. Definitely on my chopping block of shows. A show that's not on my chopping block and has exceeded all of my expectations, and that is Musume Pretty Derby Cinderella Gray. Ogari Cap is awesome. I love, because I thought she was going to be like this, because based off what I've heard about Cinderella Gray, it's like it's more a little bit more gritty and drama and all this stuff like that. So I have figured Ogari Cap was going to be like this very serious, I need to win, blah blah blah, and she's like not that at all. Like she goes to like the lunchroom is like all you can eat, so she eats like 100 croquets. The girls like bully her into like sleeping in the storage room, and then she's like, I have the room to myself, like something like that, where it's just like making the best out of like a bad situation. Like I love those characters. Ogari Cap has been awesome. She's no Gold Ship. Gold Ship is number one girl forever, but Ogari Cap has a very high potential of being the number 2 horse girl. Lazarus had some concerns coming into this because everything I heard was just like, especially from like the PV, where it's like, oh, this is parkour Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, you need to. My biggest concern with this is like, how is it going to differentiate itself from Cowboy Bebop? And I was scared because in the first like fight scene, it's all jazz and stuff. I'm like, so this is just a Cowboy Bebop fight? Like this is what we're doing? And then towards the end of the episode 1, it shifted a little bit where I'm like, okay, I think it's going into a different direction. I haven't seen the second episode yet. I'm hoping it sort of continues with that shift towards it being its own property and not being Cowboy Bebop 2, which is my biggest concern. So far it's been good. I just put it at good.
You haven't watched Cowboy Bebop though.
So Cowboy Bebop I have watched through osmosis. I have seen enough YouTube clips and Twitter clips to, I think I get it. Like I know what happens. I'm sure there's some story stuff, but like I've seen all the fights. I know how they're played out. I've seen the choreography. I've seen the music that plays with it. And then I watched Lazarus. I'm like, oh, this is a Cowboy Bebop fight. Like I've seen this on Twitter 100 times. So if it could be a little bit different than that, that's what I'm looking for. I will never watch Cowboy Bebop ever, 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 ever. Sorry, those are the rules. You can blame Chili for that one. What else am I watching? G-Cucks, Gundam G-Cucks. I think I was in the minority where I thought episode 1 was kind of mid. Everybody I saw on Twitter was like, holy shit, like Gundam's back. I thought the first episode was kind of just whatever, like very Gundam-esque, I guess. I feel like of lately where it's just like teenage person gets in the robot and then we're all start fucking shit up. And I didn't really like how fast the pacing was for the first episode. However, the PV of episode 2 we saw Char, who is the GOAT. So we'll see. It's way too early to base G-Cucks off one episode, but
yeah,
I
tried watching it, and then once they mentioned like characters in past Gundams, I was like, no, I don't think
Char's sick.
I know, I'm sure, but I just don't want to go into Gundam lore. I think my Gundam phase was Witch from Mercury, and that was it. Yeah, but I saw the hype, but I saw the hype for like when people watched it in theater. So I guess that was 3 episodes or something. That was,
yep.
So I guess I'll hit for you in 3 episodes.
Yeah, I guess they changed the order or something like that, where how it's being released digitally now is different than what you saw in the theater. So intrigued, way too early to tell. I have faith in G-Cucks. I'm scared that people are gonna be like, yo, this is a 9 or a 10, and I'll be like, I give it a 6 type of thing. I'm a little scared that I might get the pitchforks after me, but we will wait and see. I've only seen 1 episode. I could be 100% wrong. I'm not afraid to admit I was wrong later in the season, but we'll wait and see. And then the last show that I'm watching, we're both watching. Can't believe you forgot to mention it. Food for the Soul.
Fudge.
Rats. Yes, we are watching Food for the Soul, another slice of life, college setting. I love the idea of setting up a club just so you could chill and not actually do anything. But then I think that they're going to force their way into adding food elements, because if you're just chilling, why not eat some delicious food? Like, what's better? So if you're a slice of life foodie fan, definitely check out Food for the Soul. I really enjoyed the first episode. So I think that is it for an insanely stacked season. And we still, I guess by the time that this airs, we'll have the Licorice Recoil shorts airing. So that's another show that I gotta watch. So I just checked my mal, and I am at 22 shows this season with still Licorice Recoil. So a fantastic season so far. Really looking forward to seeing how it compares from now to the end of the season. Cozette, do you have any parting thoughts to your adoring fans?
Well, shout out to Food for the Soul, because I forgot that one.
Yeah, Marnie's like, Mom, how could you forget?
I know, that's like a me-coded show too. So
see, Zatsu Tabi is me, Food for the Soul is you.
Sure. Shout out to that show. I also highly recommend that one. But yeah, I would say because a lot of the shows this season sounds like we should watch it weekly and find out what the heck's going on. So join the Discord and talk to us.
Wow, 2 plugs in 1 episode. Love it. Yes, links to the description, the link tree below. I want to say thanks to Cozette. I want to thank everybody out there who is either listening or watching. If you didn't know, we have visual content on YouTube and Spotify, and then audio wherever podcasts can be found. If you want to support us, the best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you are watching or listening to us on. Next week for Watch Club, we are doing Cozette's favorite show, High School of the Dead. Otherwise, if you are here for non-Watch Club, I believe in 2 weeks we are doing the Rose of Versailles movie. So, if you want to join us, Cozette.
When does it come out?
I believe it comes out like the 24th or something like that, or I have a schedule. In 2 weeks it'll be, next week is High School of the Dead. 2 weeks from now is something I wrote it down on a calendar that I don't have in front of me. We're doing Rose of Versailles. I just don't remember when the movie comes out.
Okay,
but we
cool.
are.
I don't remember either.
We are doing it. We will be recording it. We will be putting up. So it's because it's dropping on Netflix by the end of the month. So I think I got it set up right. We'll figure it out. We always figure it out. That's what we do here. So on behalf of Cozette and myself, I want to say thank you once again, and we'll see you next time. Peace.